Matthew, was the 21-0 run how you drew it up, or tell us about that?
Yeah, first of all, it's when you have guys that are day-to-day going through their injuries and you just don't know, Doreen, Abdi, and then PJ's situation. If you've noticed, he's been wearing stuff on it for a while, and he's been wearing different kinesio tape and different stuff on it, and it got banged, and then it got banged yesterday. And I didn't, just something that happens sometimes when you practice. And so I really felt like as the guys started to play, they really had to figure out how to play without him, because that's the first time all season long we've played without him for a sustained period. And I thought we were really sloppy. I thought we looked a little disheveled, and then we called timeout. And so the reason why I'm going this direction with your question is because we ended the first half scoring 6 of our last 8 possessions. So I really felt comfortable, and I know that sounds bizarre with 23 points, but I really felt comfortable like, we figured out kind of how to play without PJ a little bit and what that's going to look like. So I had a good feeling that the second half was going to be much better, and it was. We forced them to call timeout at 31-31, and then we continue with a 17-0 run on top of the 4 to make it 21-0. And so when you get that lead like you did against Baylor as well too, and you get that kind of a big lead, this team, they've just struggled finishing. They've struggled doing certain things down the stretch, but they've always remained resilient. And so just like against Baylor, they cut it to 8 maybe, 7, whatever it was. This team, even though they cut it, it didn't really matter because they were very confident. We made some unfortunate plays. We threw some passes we shouldn't have thrown. We could have, I'll tell you, it was one of the greatest plays when David Castillo missed a 3 on the right 45, because we had worked the whole shot clock down and he took it with 3 seconds. If he buries it, it's probably a dagger. It's probably game over. But he missed it, but at least we used the entire shot clock. And so I was really, really proud of the fact that we stepped up and made free throws. Kamari, obviously, Nate split, I think, but Kamari made the 2 down the stretch, which allowed us to seal the victory and give them credit. I mean, they were fighting for a lot tonight. A lot. You don't want to have bad loss. You don't want to have that. And they were fighting for a lot. And we told them, Ross can really coach. He's part of that Grant McCaslin tree. And so they weren't going to stop. And this is very similar to their place, except it was only a 4-point game at their place. So it was a heck of a fight. Kamari didn't play there. PJ didn't play here. So we really haven't been full strength for a while. So it was just really proud of their resiliency.
And is the plan for PJ to go on Saturday? Or?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So tomorrow, so here's what happened. So he went to the doctor again. And then today was to see how that was going to transpire. And then it didn't transpire like we thought. So he got today, he's got Wednesday, he's got Thursday, he's got Friday. So he's got 4 days of really good treatment and rehabilitation. And so to me, I'm super positive and eager to think that Saturday is going to be a go because of who he is and what he's about. And so we didn't find out until pregame. And we did that on purpose because I really wanted to make sure we knew whether he was playing or not all the way up maybe to the game, but if we could get a reference earlier, because I think it's more fair for CJ or Andre or whoever we were going to start. And so I brought the team together and I told them, at the end of the day, attrition, illness, and injury, it's always going to be a part of life. But if you're Abe Lincoln and you're prepared and perhaps your chance comes, 7 o'clock, we're tipping off. They ain't changing the game. So that dude, we're not playing with him. And we're going to miss you, but you better be the best encourager on the bench. And this is what we're to do. And here's how we're going to do it. All right, let's go. Boom. And we prepped and prepared and the guys, so you can't sulk or worry about anything. You just got to go out there and deal with reality and transparency.
What did you see from CJ stepping into that? I know it's been a rough year for him at a lot of points, but just what did you see from him and just kind of staying with it?
Super, super proud of the fact that he's stuck with it. Like, I think there could have been some times this year, based on what you just said, where he could have maybe cashed it in, and maybe try to figure out what's next. But when I talked to him privately and said, hey, here's what we're thinking, he was very, very, very positive about it. And the thing about CJ is, so last night I sent a cryptic text to the staff. I said, hey, just out of curiosity, who would you guys prefer to start? And of course, I'm getting all these questions. I'm like, just answer my question. And one of the things that was brought back to me was, when you watch the film of CJ, he's a very willing giver-upper. He gives it up in transition. He gives it up when he goes to the rim. And I know he took the most shots tonight. I know that sounds convoluted a little bit, but he's a really, really good giver-upper. And so we thought, because of that and his ability to play with, he has pace to him. We weren't going to, they asked me that, like, are you going to slow down? Are you going to play? No, we're not doing that. We're going to try to play with as much pace as we can. And I'm telling you guys right now, and I haven't watched the video, I believe the pressure that we put on the rim is going to be the difference in the game. We put pressure on the rim with a pass. We put pressure on the rim with a dribble. We made more free throws than they attempted. Like, we put pressure on the rim tonight. And so CJ was part of that. And obviously he cramped up a little bit, playing 37 minutes. And Andre played the most minutes he's ever played. Doreen came out in warm-ups and said, Coach, I want to try. So here's a guy, like, give him credit, right? He had a big-time block with his left hand right in front of the bench. I thought that three was going in, actually. It looked good from my vantage point. But my point is, these guys don't want to quit. Like, they want to play. And so that's very encouraging.
The extra efforts there, especially over that 21-0 stretch, whether it was Kamari running down the court and he got that wild shot, and just seeing bodies all over the floor. I mean, it stood out today, kind of, maybe even more than some of the other games of the past.
Yeah, I tell you what, we have a little grit to us at times. We maybe haven't put it together for 40 minutes, but I do think we do have some grit to us, and I think it showed, to your point. I think we forced 6 turnovers, maybe part of that 21-0 run. Help me. I think we might have forced 6 turnovers. A couple of them were breakaways, or we call them pick sixes, and the ability to get on and make a play. I know Nate had one, Kamari had one, and maybe Nate got fouled on one. But I love our aggression. We had 8 steals tonight, and we forced them, and they don't usually turn the ball over. They're really, really good. And what we did at the three-point line, because we just, like, threes beat you. And what we did with Huff and Eagle staff, like the way in which we guarded them, they took 4 attempts. That's the biggest thing we talked about. It wasn't so much that they didn't make any, but we held them to 4 attempts. And they had to turn it into 2s. Now it's 26-23, and bada bing, bada boom, free throws, we make some 3s, and now we got a chance. And so I love the way we did that and the way CJ did that. I love PJ and Abdi on the bench too. I thought they said some really, really cool things down the stretch. Like, they said some really cool things to the guys about what to do and just to basically relax. And the other thing is, and this gets overlooked, and that's the problem about being in this chair, our staff was phenomenal. What changes to make, what subs to make, when to put Kamari back in, when to put Andre back in, when to let's just roll the dice. Because CJ was ready, but I'm like, CJ, we're rolling the dice with this group. Like, this group's flowing. And he understood that. And so our staff did a really, really good job, because the staff could have panicked too. As much as maybe I was pissed off, or as much as I was, whatever, they did a great job of like, staying the course, is what I like to say. And I'm really proud of the staff, because I think that helped the players.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of weathering that storm early on without PJ. Ultimately, like, what exactly was the key to learning how to play without PJ?
I think first and foremost, I don't know if you guys notice it, but when you play with PJ, sometimes when you play with such a great scorer, 3 years in a row, plus 20 at 3 different schools, never been done before in college basketball, you get a little bit of awe, and you get a little bit of this, and now you're watching a little bit more, and then all of a sudden maybe the ball finds you and whatever. And so I think that was the most critical thing tonight for our guys, is like, he ain't out there, so somebody else has got to take that on. Nate, I thought, did a really nice job. I thought David did a really nice job, CJ, but also, too, huge basket is like, so the other night, I don't know if you remember, we set that flare screen the other night against TCU for Andre, and he took one dribble, and then he gave up his dribble, and I got on him really hard. That's what people don't understand. Like, you know, I had a freshman ask me, Coach, why are you coaching me so hard? And I said, because I don't want to coach you next year. I want you to know, and then when the new guys come in, I want you to coach the new guys. So if I let things go to think, oh, you're just a freshman, well, then I got to coach you next year if it doesn't get better. And I coached Andre really hard, and tonight he took that extra dribble, he bumped that dude off him, and he banked that little 4-foot layup off the glass. And so I thought we had a lot of growth in different areas, which is really important. And when PJ, to your point, is not playing, like you can't just be standing there. You're moving a little bit more. 6 out of 8 possessions to end, 21-0 run. Like you're moving a little bit more and you're sharing it. You're burning. You're getting things at the rim. You're getting kick-out threes. We didn't make them all, but that puts pressure on them. But when you shoot 25 free throws, you got a chance. And so I really loved how the guys figured it out and then were able to and we defended the whole night. I mean, I don't have my glasses. What do we hold them to? What does it say, guys? 39, that's our goal, right? That's our goal, right? Does that say 39? 39, that's our goal. So we defended our tail off. So super, super proud of that as well, too, because I think that gets overlooked. Yes, sir.
Obviously, big game Saturday against KU. Can you just talk about the opportunity that you guys have to, close the season on a good note against a big rival like them?
Sure. I'm really used to rival games as a head coach. We actually had a school that was in our own city, so it was more like Duke in North Carolina type of situation. When we played them here, we obviously had our lapses, so to speak, in playing them up there. I know what it's like because I coached at Baylor, so I know what it's like to be in that arena and to be in that environment, what that sounds like. Unfortunately, we never beat them there. But our last time I ever coached against them at Baylor, we won in the Big 12 tournament. So we made a heck of a run as a 12 seed to the championship. So I'm really I'm excited to see what it presents itself. I think the guys are, a lot of guys haven't played there, if you think about it. I mean, Taj Manning's played there, David's played there, and I don't know about if they played there at another school. I'm just saying, I don't think a lot of guys have even played there. And so what is their Arizona? They're playing Arizona State tonight. Mm-hmm. But I'm really most concerned about our day off, our rehabilitation, see what we have. And then I know the guys will be prepared. And, like everything else in life, it's a ranked opponent. It's Kansas. It's a blue blood. And it's an excitement leading into the Big 12 tournament, before we play on the glass. So. Sorry?
You can't say the hard word.
No. I AI'd last night, and I'm a little bit quirky, obviously. And right in the middle of the game last night, what game was on last night? Big time game, Arizona, whatever. I got an email from the commissioner, and he must have sent it to everybody. Good, just want to wish you well, finish up the season, and see you at the tournament, whatever. And I thought, you know what? So I Googled real quick, what are some neat, fun things to say to utilize Big 12 men's basketball with a glass floor? And so I sent them to him. I sent them like 12 different things. They were pretty good ones. I wish I had them for you. They were pretty good ones. Like Big 12 is shattering the college basketball or something like that. I mean, there were some really good ones. So AI is amazing. Absolutely. I'm sure their marketing people, took care of that. Anyways, I don't know why we went down that rabbit hole. Thank you.